Welcome to Beyond Your Troop Meeting, your gateway to making memories, exposing girls to new experiences, and adding something special to her experience with your troop. This mini-module points you to vital information necessary to safely conduct entry-level group trips away from your regular meeting place. These could include field trips during meeting times, day trips on weekends, or simple indoor overnight experiences such as Girl Scout slumber parties. Completion of a brief knowledge check at the end of this module gives you volunteer training credit and serves as your acknowledgement that you understand the safety policies required to limit risk and ensure the safety of all participants. Ready to start? So, why is it important to get out and about with your girls? Well, because getting out and about, whether in a community parade or exploring the great outdoors, has been a great component of Girl Scouts since its founding. Girls have tons of energy and love to move and explore. Equally important, some say that going on adventures is what brings the girls back year after year. This video is going to introduce 3 key topics. However, supporting resources to help you use this information can be found on our Council website. We're going to talk about girl readiness and progression, and how building upon the girls' skills, step by step, is the best way to go. We will suggest places that you may get ideas for, based on where to go and what to do. Finally, we will talk about the safeguards put into place so that when you're out and about with responsibility for other people's children, all of our bases are covered. Before we move forward, let's take a moment to establish what girl readiness and progression means. Simply stated, a girl's readiness for a particular activity is based more upon her emotional and physical maturity than upon her age. Her knowledge and skill level and experience combined with her emotional and physical maturity determine her level of readiness. 2 girls at the same age level may have very different levels of readiness for the same activity. Progression means to start with simple trips that are short in duration and build over time to longer trips that are more demanding, both physically and emotionally. Even if you are brand new to Girl Scouting, you have probably thought about progression before. While girls might want to plan a fantastic journey, limited only by their wildest imaginations, it is important for you to work with them and help select an outing or overnight that matches their degree of readiness. You are going to be in a better position to determine the girls' degree of readiness if you observe them in a different situation and on different types of trips. Start small and work your way up before you take them away from home for the night or for the weekend. It is wise to start with a field trip to a local business or organization during your regular meeting time. Generally, these types of trips are no more than 2 hours in duration and give an indication of how girls behave in public and ride in the car together. For example, when working on financial literacy badges, you could visit a locally owned grocery store or a farmer's market where the owner discusses the principles of small business ownerships, gives a demonstration of budgeting while shopping, and ends with a tasty and nutritious treat. Day trips on a weekend afternoon could look like attending an event such as a Juliette Lowe birthday celebration, or perhaps a day-use visit to a Girl Scout camp to work on an ecology badge. This allows you to see if the girls are able to be on time, dress appropriately, and remember to bring requested supplies, such as their signed permission slips, when the stakes are low. Simple overnight trips could include a service unit organized thinking day lock-in at a local church, an overnight with the troop at the zoo or the museum, or perhaps even a sleepover in your fenced-in backyard to help the girls get used to nighttime outdoor sounds. Extended overnight trips might look like 2 nights at a council campsite, or in the case of older girls, it could involve traveling to another part of the state, or even beyond. It's important to know that further training and approval is required for outdoor camping, and also for trips lasting 3 nights or more. One of the great benefits of Girl Scouting is the opportunity to travel with Girl Scout friends around the globe, and girls who do so gain enormous benefits. They develop self-confidence and learn leadership skills by planning and earning money to pay their own way. They gain cultural insight and an appreciation for differences. As girls mature in Girl Scouts, many consider travel one of the most exciting aspects of their membership. The first, most logical place that ideas for troop field trips will come from are the activities that you encounter in the journeys and badges. As an example, the goal of this journey meeting session is for girls to explore how caring for animals is like caring for themselves. You could follow the meeting activities exactly as written in the guide, but you could decide that a field trip to the local vet with an animal care talk and demonstration would just as easily fulfill the goal. This is what makes journeys customizable. As long as what you do achieves the goal, you're good to go. Some badges just naturally lend themselves to a day trip setting to a camp, nature preserve, or a zoo, while others take a little more creativity to see where a field trip might work in. It would be easy enough to accomplish these badge requirements in the meeting place if you had access to a kitchen. But where else could you go, and who else could you meet that would be able to guide the girls through a demonstration and hands-on learning by doing style of making simple snacks? Another possible source of activities beyond your troop meeting is involvement with community service. In fact, every journey wraps up with what we call a take action project, so chances are good something like this is in your future. Likewise, many service units are known for hosting events for all of the Girl Scouts in their community. You may be invited to participate in a service unit dance, workshop, swimming party, cook-off, or lock-in. The possibilities are endless. One of the most important responsibilities of every adult volunteer is to facilitate a safe experience for every girl. And because GSLPG takes this seriously, we are going to take a little time to emphasize the important things you need to know. You will find that the Volunteer Essentials Handbook is one of the most valuable tools for responsible leadership. The safety activity checkpoints, especially, should be consulted prior to planning any outing or overnight. Likewise, GSLPG, Volunteer Policies and Procedures, gives additional guidelines and can be found at the back of the Volunteer Essentials. Our policies and procedures are in place to help ensure that everything that should be considered is considered. As a real-life example, activities away from your regular meeting place, especially for an overnight, need extra adult supervision. By consulting the girl-to-adult ratio chart found in Volunteer Essentials, you can be sure to include the right number of chaperones. While looking at the chart, let's take a moment to go over some important points. You can see in the example given that a regular Brownie Troop meeting requires 2 unrelated adults for the first 20 girls. However, that number goes up to 4 adults required when you get out and about. Here are some other key things to remember. All adults on an outing should be aware of the plans and informed of their roles. Your troop parents and other adults can serve as chaperones, drivers, etc. Just make sure they know and adhere to Girl Scout safety procedures. Additionally, anyone supervising girls or driving girls other than their own in a troop capacity must be a registered Girl Scout member and have cleared the Assurant background check and register as a DCFS mandated reporter. No exceptions. Keep in mind that as volunteers you are assuming responsibility and liability for other people's children, and everyone should be cleared and covered by Girl Scout insurance. Being prepared means having someone with you who is trained and certified to handle simple accidents or emergencies. Guidelines for accepted first aid and CPR certifications can be found in the Volunteer Essentials. Girl permission forms are required to be signed by girls' parents or guardians every time the girls go on an outing. The parent receives the permission form with the details of the event filled out on the top. The parent keeps the top half of the form so that they know what is happening, when, and with whom. The parent returns the bottom half of the form, signed and filled out, by signifying their permission for their daughter to attend. By comparison, an application for activities and trips is only filled out by the troop leader and reviewed and signed by a girl experience specialist at the council office. This application is filled out when the event is overnight activity of 2 or more nights, the troop is participating in an activity that could be deemed dangerous, such as horseback riding or canoeing, the troop is traveling more than 350 miles round trip. Both forms are accessible on our council website and can be downloaded as needed. Let's talk about transporting girls in vans and cars. When venturing out from your usual meeting place, you'll most likely be transporting girls from point A to point B and back again. Your chaperone drivers need to be background cleared, adult Girl Scout members, licensed and insured, and over the age of 18. The girls should be instructed to wear seat belts at all times when traveling. You should make sure that travel packets are provided for the glove box of each car. We will talk more about travel packets in a moment. A large group might be tempted to rent a 15-passenger van to accommodate everyone. However, use of these types of vehicles are not allowed for safety reasons. A 12-passenger van is allowed, but not recommended, for the same reasons, as long as you do not transport more than 12 people in a van at a time. Now, what are travel packets? Travel packets are generally large envelopes containing important information that goes into the glove box of each car transporting girls. Travel packets should contain the following information: copies of the permission slips for the girls in the car, copies of sealed health history forms for the girls in the car, a first aid kit, a Girl Scout Council emergency contact number sheet, along with the emergency procedure information, address and telephone numbers of the destination, as well as cell phone numbers for every chaperone on the trip, a copy of the activity approval form. The troop leader keeps a master copy of all the information that goes along with the girls in each car, and makes sure that each driver has the name and number of the person who has been designated as the emergency contact back at home in the event that a phone tree needs to be activated. As a leader, you do a lot to make sure that the charges in your care stay safe, but the girls have responsibilities too. In meetings prior to the trip, impress upon the girls the importance of safety when out and about. Engage them by soliciting ideas from them about how to stay safe. During your discussion, be sure to cover and practice the buddy system and what to do if someone gets lost. Lastly, if the girls will wear shirts or hats with their names on them, be sure to display only their first names, not their first and last names. That is everything we want to cover right now. Remember, the resources on our website are always available for your review, and to take the brief knowledge check to ensure that you receive volunteer training credit. We wish you and the girls tons of fun beyond your troop meeting.